Chapter 5, Lesson 4. There are more vocabulary words for this lesson. Make sure you have your red notebook and your textbook for the practice problem. The first word is a terminating decimal. A terminating decimal is a decimal that ends. For example, 0.52 stops right there. We could add zeros after it, but as far as the non-zero numbers, they do not repeat. Next one, a repeating decimal is a decimal with numbers that repeat indefinitely. For example, 0.333, and they keep going. Sometimes we'll use the dots, but that can get confusing with decimals. So we came up with bar notation. That's a bar that's placed over the numbers that repeat. So for this decimal, we could write 0.3 and put a bar over it. That means those numbers repeat. You could also have two numbers that repeat. So that would be 0.575757. Or you could have 6776. These numbers would be the repeating ones. So it starts out with 0.67 and then it keeps going 767676. And the last definition is a rational number. Any number that can be written as a fraction. 2 can be written as 2 over 1. 1/2. 1/3. Those are all rational. An irrational number, most famous one, is pi. It just keeps going on and on and on. We keep finding new numbers at the end. So those are your 4 vocabulary words. Get those down in your notebook, and then we'll do some practice problems. We're on page 381. We're going to turn each fraction into a decimal. Use bar notation if necessary. First one is 1/6. I'm going to go down there at the bottom. 1 divided by 6. 1 is your dividend, 6 is your divisor. I want 3 zeros after the 1. Yes, you have to show your work. No calculators for this lesson. Your teacher is mean, you know that. Move your decimal straight up. 6 doesn't go into 1, but it does go into 10 one time. 40, 6 into 40 would be 6. 36, 40, and look, we have a repeating decimal. So your answer you could write as 0.16 with the bar over the 6. That is a repeating decimal. Bottom of the page, we can do it with negative fractions as well. Let's do -5/6. Same thing. 5 divided by 6. Don't worry about the negative sign. Just can't forget about it when you write your answer. 3 zeros after 5. Move your decimal straight up. 6 goes into 58 times. Subtract, bring down 3. Subtract, bring down 3. Okay, we have another repeating decimal. You would write your answer as negative, remember it started with a negative sign, 0.83 with the bar over the 3. So -83 hundredths would be the answer for that one. Your assignment's on page 383. These problems, I want you to show your work. Number 1, number 4, I want to see your work. Number 3, I also want to see your work. You may be able to do that by just looking at it. If you reduce it, you should recognize it from our percent and ratio unit. 2, 5, and 6, you may use a calculator. That one's a calculator. 1, 4, let's go in order. 1, 3, and 4 show work. Complete the rest of the page as the assignment page listed, and that is lesson 4.